Visit that rat temple?
No. Wow.
Really? I haven't found anything strange?
Waste.
I'll be really pissed. Hey everyone, this is Sunil and Pia. We are here to react to 12 strange things you only see in India. Now, I am an Indian. I'm born and brought up in India. I've stayed in India for 22 years. I haven't found anything strange.
Well, I've been to India twice and I'm engaged to an Indian. So I wonder if I will recognize anything here.
Let's hope this video doesn't trigger me because I will find things offensive if they're not strange to me. Obviously, this video is from a Western world's perspective.
Right, yeah, okay.
So yeah, it's for tourists from outside India, they might find things strange in India.
Yeah.
But obviously they won't be strange to me. If they say something too obvious as strange, I'll be really pissed. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's watch. Jeez.
So here's a fun riddle for you. Where in the world are wedding rings worn on the toes and people serve bulls instead of waves? No, it's not New Jersey, folks. It's India.
They're not
It's
rings.
a place full of odd customs and curiosities you probably didn't know about. And guess what? Today's your lucky day. I'm going to tell you about it. For example, there's, in descending order, number 12, the quirks of Indian English. Now, India is one of the largest English-speaking countries in the world, second only to the U.S. But in a country with around 880 spoken languages, only 22 of which are even officially recognized, it's no wonder Indian English may sometimes tickle your ear in a strange way. For instance, if a person starts talking to you with a weird yar sound, don't worry, that's just the Indian way to say, hey dude.
Hey dude, okay.
Indians would probably ask your name with the phrase,
What's your good name?
And no, that doesn't mean you have some kind of a bad name. It's just a way of being polite.
Yeah.
And when an Indian person finally starts addressing you by your first name, they may add G to the end to show how much they respect you.
Yeah.
Ah, my dear bright cider G.
Oh.
11. Beautifully adorned toes. In India, when two loving hearts decide to marry each other, the groom must put a wedding ring on his bride's toe. Yup, that's the custom. These wedding rings are called bichia, and every bride wears them on both her second toes as a sign of her newly married state. There are other kinds of toe rings in India too. Some men wear them on their big toes in a belief that it'll boost their strength and vigor. Indians are famous for their love of gold, but toe rings are mostly made of silver because it's inappropriate to wear gold below the waist.
You're like, what?
Unbreakable promises.
I didn't know that.
Most people in India believe that a spoken word has immense power within it. And if you break a promise, you'll enrage spirits and deities. The most powerful promise is the promise of a mother. So if an Indian person swears by this, then you better believe them if you don't want to come off as really rude. Number 9.
I say it all the time.
Plastic surgery. Among India's most sacred texts, there's one that baffles surgeons and medical experts to this day. It's called the Sushruta Samhita, and it's a fundamental part of the Indian practice of Ayurveda. It was written by the ancient Indian surgeon Sushruta somewhere between 1000 BCE and 500 BCE. The text describes tons of unbelievably complex surgical procedures. But the
Wow.
most fascinating thing is that it proves that India is probably the birthplace of all plastic surgery.
Wow.
Really?
Even for his time, Sushruta was totally capable of doing nose jobs, or rhinoplasties if you want to be technical, and earlobe reconstructions. Not exactly what would make movie stars seem forever young, but
Sure,
still
you're right.
impressive. Speaking of movies, number 8, twice the Hollywood.
Yep.
India's Bollywood is the largest film industry in the world. No, not Hollywood. Bollywood produces about 1,200 films every year. That's
Wow.
twice the amount that Hollywood puts out.
Yep.
And if you want to start an acting career in India, you better learn how to sing and dance, since most of the movies produced there are musicals. This passion for musicals stems from a deep appreciation for Indian traditional dance and folklore. Also, it's no secret that Bollywood was inspired by Hollywood works from the 1920s to 1950s, many of which were musicals. Bollywood got its B from Bombay, the city where most Indian films are produced, which of course changed its name to Mumbai in 1995. Yeah, they should keep the B. Mollywood just, isn't the same.
Malayalam film industry is called.
Yeah.
Holy rats! I know, it sounds absurd, so let me explain. According to an ancient Indian legend, the mighty and worshipped warrior sage Karni Mata tragically lost her stepson Laxman when he accidentally fell in a pond and drowned. Karni Mata was in such grief that she begged the gods to save him. Well, they did, but on one condition. All of her male children would be reincarnated as rats. Ah, those wacky gods. What a unique sense of humor, huh? So that's why the temple devoted to Karni Mata in Deshno is known as Rat Temple.
Oh no!
Here you are, going through a huge
We should go there.
completely covered in rats. But people here are happy to come and share their food with these sacred long-tailed rodents. Hey, might be a relative. It's a particular honor to come across and feed the rare white rats in the temple. They're believed to be the true reincarnation of Karni Mata and her sons. Number 6, bull surfing. Whoa, gnarly dude. If you ever go to the village of Anandapalli after harvest season, then you might be able to watch some bull surfing. How do you surf a bull?
Oh yeah,
Very
I know
carefully,
about this.
Yes. You see, first off, they make a track on a flooded field that becomes pretty much a big muddy swamp. Then teams, it's a competitive sport, compete to stay on a board being pulled through the water by 2 bulls. These jockeys train for this event, and the bulls are groomed and cleaned with their horns being polished nice and shiny.
Poor things.
Doesn't last very long. Can you see yourself hanging 10 on a board driven by 2 really big mammals in your hands? And that's no bull. Wait, yes it is. Turf's up, dude. Number 5. Who to thank for your clean hair?
Shampoo.
Did you know the word shampoo has Indian roots? Well, that comes as no
Really?
surprise.
You didn't know that?
Shampooing itself originates in India.
Shampoo comes from India.
The original word shampoo means massage and was initially used to describe the process of hair strengthening with herbs common in India. But India has good reason to pay so much attention to their locks. The country sells over $20 billion worth of hair in a single month.
That makes sense.
Such amounts are second only to China. But even this hair-selling giant mixes its product with Indian hair for better quality. Number 4, serious wildlife conservation.
Yeah.
India gets a lot of criticism
It's happening
for
a
its
lot.
pollution problem, which there's no denying that it's a serious one. But that doesn't say anything about Indian people's attitude towards wildlife. There are 104 national parks in India, with over 15,000 square miles of overall coverage. Some of the rarest animals on Earth inhabit these parks, like the bizarre-looking purple frog, the smallest pig in the world, the pygmy hog, and the largest living bat, the Indian flying fox. These endangered species are in severe need of protection, and India has proven itself very capable of wildlife conservation. Just take the country's national symbol as an example. In 2010, there were only between 1,700 and 1,900 Bengal tigers left in the world, but those numbers are now up to around 2,200. The Bengal tiger is still considered endangered, even though it's the biggest tiger species in terms of numbers. So you can imagine how grave the situation is for its cousins elsewhere.
Yeah.
Number
Those
3,
are not
Towers
tigers,
of
they're
Silence.
lions. Towers of Silence?
India is not only home to rare wildlife species, but some uncommon ideologies too. One of them is Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrians believe fire and earth to be sacred fundamental elements. So it's very bad for them to bury or cremate their departed. The solution they came up with was to build towers of silence for the deceased, also known as dakma. These towers have no roof so that nature can step in and do the work as an undertaker. The only towers of silence still functional to this day are in India. But let's move on to a place that's very much alive and definitely not silent. Number 2, packed like sardines in trains.
Yep.
India has the 4th largest railway system in the world.
I didn't know that.
With almost 42,000 miles of track overall. But if you want to keep a pleasant impression of this country in your heart, then you might want to avoid trains at all costs. Or, you know, if you're just curious to see people hang off the sides and ride on the roof of the train, then India is the place to go. Local commuter trains in India are unbelievably overcrowded most of the time. So even trying to get in one is pretty much impossible. And don't even bother trying to get a seat. You'd be wasting your time. But still, these crazy packed trains have sort of become a tourist attraction in and of themselves. But still, I'd take Uber or something for short distances if
We
I
did
were
too.
you. Number 1, pageants for true beauties. Hey, what's more beautiful than a huge Indian elephant? Can't think of anything? That's a tough one. Well, the only real answer is the most beautiful Indian elephant, of course. There's a contest dubbed as such that happens each year on the full moon between February and March. And this pageant is a key part of Jaipur's famous Indian festival. Nowhere else in the world are these gorgeous giants celebrated like they are here. People get down to work preparing for the festival by cleaning the elephants and decorating them with an array of stunning embellishments and clothes.
Oh, that is so cute.
Then everybody votes for the most beautiful and gracious elephant at the festival. It's
I love
really nice to know
elephants.
that
Me
these
too.
kind and helpful creatures can get so much respect and love. Boy, you could see that one coming now, couldn't you? Hey, what's the most amusing fact about India that you know? Add your own points to the list in the comments down below.
The first thing I want to say is that he kept mentioning they, and I felt like these are very region-specific traditions and cultures that he was talking about. Some of these things, even I didn't know.
Yeah.
And most of my friends don't know. If you're an Indian, you would know what I'm talking about. For example, the rat temple, I kind of heard about it, but not many
Never
people
heard of
know
it.
about it. So it's a bit generalized. That's what I felt.
It's a very Western perspective.
Yes, and
Yeah.
having said that, he has highlighted many interesting facts about Indian traditions and culture.
About the two rings, I find it funny because Melbourne's so much colder. A lot of Indian women end up taking their wedding rings off when they come here because you have to wear closed shoes
Yes.
so often that they get all this pain. Because in India, you're often in thongs because
Yeah.
it's so hot.
It's really hot.
Yeah. Hey, when you're really promising something, you say, "I promise on my mum." Is that?
Yes. We do that.
That's so funny.
That's quite common. Yes.
Because I'd never heard of that, but we do it all the time now when
Yeah.
we mean, like, I'm really serious. I got that from you, and now I
Yes.
see it in this video.
Yes, there you go. The thing about trains is so true that we didn't take trains when we traveled in India. We went to India twice together, and we only...
I wanted to take the trains.
Yeah, we only roamed around in buses, although, yeah, we really wanted to go
Oh,
in
yeah, and auto rickshaws.
auto rickshaws and cabs, because most of the times you won't get tickets in trains,
Yeah.
or it's completely packed.
Well, look, this is a very... Sunny still laughs at me. This is probably a very Western thing, but I get really claustrophobic in big crowds, which is great when you go to India. So, like, I've almost passed out if I'm in a crowd that's too big.
Oh, right.
So, I think you probably were just a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, nervous about me getting squashed on a train.
Yeah. I think we really need to visit that rat temple.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
I really like it. I might...
You can go by yourself. You can go on a pilgrimage to the rat temple,
Maybe
and
you-
I will stay at home.
Maybe you can wait outside. I can go in and
No.
say hi to all
Not
the
even
rats.
1 kilometer.
Pay my respects.
But look, I mean, you have to be respectful of the fact that people in that region see these animals as a holy
Yeah.
being, and I do understand that. But rats kind of scare me, so
Fair enough.
yeah. You didn't know about Shampoo? That was interesting. I knew that.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't know about a lot of facts that he mentioned. It's a really good video, all in all.
Yeah.
I didn't get triggered or offended by anything, except
I did a little bit with the Bollywood thing. But,
okay.
You know, I watched a documentary that Bollywood, the term Bollywood originally came from sort of, I guess, making fun of it in relation to Hollywood.
Is it? Oh, okay. What documentary is it?
Oh no, I can't remember. I studied a bit of Indian cinema in uni, and they showed us a documentary. If that's not 100% correct, my apologies. But I know that there's a few Indian directors who prefer, you know, the terms Indian cinema or Mumbai cinema if you're relating to Maharashtrian, you know, cinema.
That's what I thought growing up. I thought we meant Bombay, and they just thought it can be named Bollywood because it's like Hollywood, but in Bombay.
Yeah, I do remember the first time an Indian person said to me, "What's your good name?" And I was so confused. Like, I couldn't even, was like trying to put the words together to be like, what could that mean? Nothing. What's your first name? Oh, okay, now I understand.
I can explain why. It's because Indians try to be respectful when they're meeting strangers. That's like the culture.
Yeah.
And they try their best to find ways to, you know, be respectful. That this is one of the things that they do. What's your good name? They do G in the end. Some of my friends or your friends call your mum adding G at the end of her name, right?
Yeah, and they call her auntie. Like when I met Sunny's mum, it was respectful for me to say auntie. But when Sunny met my parents, I said, do not say Mr. or Ms. You know, don't say that. They'll literally laugh at you. Call them by their first name. In Australia, you call, you know, you have to be aware of what they're like. But with my parents, they would find it hilarious if someone called them auntie or uncle, or if someone called them Mr. or Ms. and their surname.
Right.
They only want to be referred to by their first names. It's very informal. You remember that when you met my dad? It was like, call him by his first name.
Yeah, I didn't knew that it's like that with everyone.
I don't know.
Mostly.
I guess it depends on the circles you move in. In the circles I move in, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are still conservative people in Australia, as there are everywhere. But generally, you call older people by their first name.
Fair enough. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments below, like that video said, if you have anything exciting about India to share. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
There's plenty of content waiting to be watched, so scroll down and explore all the playlists. Oh, and one more thing, if everyone watching our videos subscribe to us, it'll allow us to do even more videos, so subscribe to us. Come on now.